Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the end of week number 14 when it comes to Project 2020. We're just a couple of hours away from the Jeter print run. Someone's going to win a necklace and 10 people are going to win an autograph. At the same time, the Ichiro, the Ricky just got posted. How did my projections do versus the print run? But first, if you're new around here or want more Project 2020 news, hit that subscribe button. So hopefully you have picked up your Jeter and your Rivera, and hopefully somebody who watches this show or listens to the podcast wins either the chain or the necklace. That would be just fantastic. So we'll see what those numbers come out today. Look, I'll be very honest. If there's one thing that I want to be wrong on this week, it's going to be this Jeter print run. Look, we'll talk about the pre-orders here in a second. We'll talk about Rivera. But I really want to be wrong here just because I want to see that number come well below where I put out yesterday with that 55,000. So we'll see where the pre-orders land and we'll see where the print run lands. But now when you look at the Ichiro and the Ricky Henderson, now for some reason I really like the fact that these print runs come out early in the morning. Look, I know Topps is not going to change their purchasing windows or how this is going to work, but there's something neat about the fact that, look, they run till like 8 o'clock now or 6 o'clock here, and then the print runs are up early in the morning. So I kind of like that style versus having to wait for it, you know, sometime middle of the afternoon or 1, 2 o'clock. The posting times are always so random. These late releases, they've been pretty regular with the print run announcements. But look, it's not gonna change. On the Ricky and the Ichiro, and look, I overshot them again. That has been the most common theme this week of my projections. I'm usually 50% right, maybe right in the middle, but this week I have been wrong on almost every single one, but that's what makes this so enjoyable and so fun to do, is trying to figure out the buying trends, because all I'm doing is taking one single number and trying to extrapolate that out to a print run in the 5,000 to 6,000 range. But Ichiro, he came in under 6,500, so 6,200, as a print run. So look, good number overall. You know, that's a bigger number than we had been seeing here recently. We've been seeing some numbers, under 5,000. So good, 6,200. Look, we'll take it. It's good. It's natural. I picked up my copy. We will see how that sells on the secondary market. But then again, 6,000 is still a lot of cards in this current market in a sense when it comes to cards past 61. And then the Ricky, 6,600. This one really surprised me the most. When you looked at the comparison of the pre-orders from the Ichiro to the Ricky, I just felt this one was a lot. I felt the difference was more than 400. I felt it was at least 1,000 more. Ricky has shown a good sales history, so I was just really surprised to see that one come way down to 6,600. The eBay penetration on the Ricky, look, under 2%, but rather high at 1.79. So it's, again, a small shift back over to eBay for people picking up the card with, for 17, 16 bucks. I will say, just from a pre-order perspective, look, I've stopped all pre-orders, but of the pre-orders I'm shipping right now, it's been amazing to see how many customers are in Florida when the cards are printed in Florida. So the savings of $2 is a big determining factor for customers, because if I was in Florida and these printed in Florida, I would just buy them from Topps. But it's very obvious people are looking to save money, and that is why the eBay pre-orders are such a successful operation, because people want to save their money. But now when you talk about saving money, one thing I've done, and the thing that I am changing the most when you look at week 15 and actually ending week 14, is I am not buying Derek Jeter and I'm not buying Mariano Rivera. Look, my set is never going to be complete. Like I thought about doing these set runs, every 10 here, 70, then 80, then 90. I've got almost every card from 61 on. I'm missing a couple in the 60s. But I felt, look, from 61 to 130, which is my last card I purchased, that's a good number to have. I'll sit on those. I'll see what happens. I'm going to go back and start buying cards that I like. Of course, Grotesque is going to be one I purchase. I'm really thinking about going back and picking up the Natural, the Natural print run overall from the beginning. Sneak preview here. The pricing is strong. It looks like we're going to have to start buying these cards now if we want them on the cheap, because there's some more positive movement in these first and second player cards. But as this set sort of evolves, I expect more buyers to also evolve with their buying habits. And one of my biggest buying habits right now is I'm not going to be buying every single card anymore. I'm going to be selective. I'm going to continue with my Grotesque, and then I'm going to go back and buy certain cards at certain times. Okay, so let's take a look at that Jeter and Rivera. Where do we sit after 48 hours? And look, I had targets of 440 and 115. They came in really low, actually. Rivera came in at 80 and Derek Jeter came in at 355. What does that mean? Okay, so to set the stage here, typically pre-orders have been, before the past couple of weeks, there was about a 30% gain after day number 1 to day number 2. Then the past couple of weeks, it's been closer to 40 to 45%. So 60% were done on the first day. Now, these two, shockingly low. Only 25% of the pre-orders in total were done on day number 2. So that means two things. Either A, people moved everything over to Topps. And look, it makes sense this time around to buy from Topps. If I was purchasing Jeter and Mariano, especially Jeter, I would not be using a pre-seller. There's just no reason. There's no point. Why give that person more opportunity for a necklace than yourself? So if I were you, I would just been buying on Topps.com. But that's a moot point now. This video will be out after the print runs after the buying window ends. But the second thing is, did people stop buying the card? Are these print runs going to come way down? Am I going to miss considerably? We've not seen a number that low as far as 25% since I've been tracking. To me, it says that just everyone moved over to Topps, but maybe people are just not buying this card. I just don't see how this card, this Jeter specifically, not talking about Mariano, finishes anywhere under 45,000. The Ripken with nothing going on, 35,000. And that number was incredibly high for what it should have printed. The Jeter, to me, has to be 45, 50, 55. I think Ben Baller wants another card in the top 10 and is going to do whatever he wants in the top 10. Now, look, the top 10 is mythical, but it's out there. I think he wants another card in the top 10. That's why I still think this card is 55 plus. But I really, really, really hope I'm wrong here, but we will find out here shortly. When you look at the market and the market overall, look, the market from an average value price spiked up, but that's expected when it comes to the fact that the Jeter pre-orders did not sell as well or did not sell as many. So the average price point is up to $52. That will be on the website to take a look at. And when you look at it, it'll be kind of funny. It looks like the orange line bounces off the blue bar up for yesterday. But the thing that I'm most excited about is the fact that first player and second player cards are rising again, and it's very consistent. We've been tracking this now for 3 weeks, and of course, please use my website for any kind of price reference. It's probably the most up-to-date price guide out there when it comes to where the cards have been. That's a free resource, so please use that website as much as you can or as much as you want to use it. But let's take a look at that first player pricing real quick. So now what I've done is I've taken the 623 to 625 numbers and compared it to the previous week. And look, there is a ton of green. Ichiro, Koufax, Robinson, only a couple are down. The Williams is down, and then the Clemente, of course, it's surprising it's the exact same value. But for the most part, every single card is up right now. And then when you look back at 616 to 622, there again, they are up also. The Bob Gibson. So he's gone from 258 to 278 to 282. And then when you look at yesterday, look, a lot of green again. Jackie Robinson, Mike Trout, Ripken, Griffey, And then when you look at second player pricing here, it's the same story. A lot of positive movement here in these cards. Clemente up, Ricky Henderson up. And you look at yesterday, look at Dwight Gooden. He had one sale yesterday at 350, and before that was 254. Now look, it's one sale, I get it. But there is a lot of movement out there. There's a movement, and it's in the numbers. So look, to me, and this is why I'm also sort of readjusting how I'm buying, is because the market is moving in the right direction for these lower printed cards. I don't think this means that the cards in the 60s and 70s and 80s are going to move up. They're barely selling at 20 bucks right now. But some of these early cards, if you really need one, like I really want Jackie Robinson Natural, I think right now is the time to buy that card because everything is telling us that card is moving up along with all first and second player cards. So thankfully, the Clemente for Natural is not that expensive yet. But could these continue to move up? The lower printed stuff, as more people come into the product, right? As the summer goes on, these prices on the first and second cards, to me, can only rise. But the good thing is right now, they're rising steadily. They're not rising astronomically like they were this time last month. This time last month, everything we touched turned to gold, and it was fool's gold, and we all got burned. So look, these increases are good because they're gradual. And if you've liked the video so far, please hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out tremendously. So now let's take a look at George Brett and Mark McGwire. two players that have not sold that well, with two artists that people are growing on or people dislike altogether, with Urmzy and Fucci. The George Brett today actually surprised me from a reservation perspective. 115 reservations. And Mark McGwire, shockingly low, 38 reservations on eBay alone. So these cards, to me, I thought they could be very similar, but I think the more comments I read, people are growing on Urmzy. Look, his first card, I think, threw us all for a loop, but people are coming around to Urmzy. So with George Brett, even though he's a lower printed athlete, I am looking at a 9 to 10K print run for him. And if history holds for the week, I'm overshooting, so he's going to come in around 8,000, but we'll find out. But I really like right now, based on his first day pre-orders, of 9 to 10,000 on George Brett. And then on the Mark McGwire, 38 pre-orders. I'm looking right now at a very tight range for him. I don't think with Fucci you have people buying this in mass on the website. I'm thinking 4.5K to 5.5K. I'm going to keep this really narrow. This could be one of the lower printed cards we've seen recently. It also could just get over 5. We'll see. I don't know if these sell well together or if these just sell independent of each other, but we will find out tomorrow. If you like this video and you want more Project 2020 news and commentary, please check out that playlist on the screen right now.